Okay, welcome to this video. I'll be talking on the component of Bootstrap, right? As you can see, just popular Bootstrap components. As I'm talking about in this video, and it should be the last video we'll be having, because I feel like I've covered most of what you need to just start exploring things and building stuff by yourself and stuff. So yeah, when you come on Bootstrap, I'll be doing a lot of talking in this video, and I actually spent a few time just writing the code for this particular video. So I've written the code, and that's great. You can see it here. Just look at how long it is. Just look at this tiny slider, right? And it's so tiny to just demonstrate that there's a lot of code there. Just adding those Bootstrap and actually trying to just tweak them and change their look. So yeah, you can see most of these things I just removed. This is an unordered list of just what I'll be talking about. So talking about these things, and I use the list style type to just remove that particular dot stuff you should be seeing. That what do they call it? Default, right? The default the default numbering, or like display of the unordered list. I just use that list style tab is a property, and then you may just keep list style tab none, and then that's those stuff goes away. So yeah, we're talking on those pills, alerts, badge, or alert buttons, badges, breadcrumbs, buttons, cards, forms, modal, pagination, popovers, tooltips, and table. So I'll just be scaling through them, and I found out that you should just know that most of Bootstrap, or a few of them, quite a number of them, you actually need JavaScript to implement them on your page or to do stuff. So you see this JavaScript tab here, I would actually need to be writing some stuff when I keep my my Bootstrap. Kidding me? Okay, so when I keep my Bootstrap here, and because I actually included my JavaScript, jQuery and Pooper, right? The scripts tag at the bottom of all pages that are actually including Bootstrap for their project. So you would need JavaScript to tweak some of these some of those components, right? And these were the ones I could actually get that do not require JavaScript. Although, for example, Popovers does, tooltips also, but they have the HTML and CSS version, and something like they are not quite as advanced, and they don't really do most of those functions and stuff. But still, we're just looking at them and getting to just see what they do. So the first one is pills, and right here is pills. So what pills are, let's just say pills are particular a component from Bootstrap that just tries to use less space to actually what okay, so they try to use less space to actually write text. Yeah, so I'm writing this text, and I don't want to consume another line to write the text for profile. Normally I've consumed this line for my home definition. Then this is just a different language. Don't worry about it, just normal. They just use it to represent some of those contents that when you're using Bootstrap, just represent some of those content and move on. But that's it about the home. You just write this home, and then I need to write profile. Any normal day I'll move to the next line and just write my profile. But pills gives you this, you can just easily tab to the next one, and on that same space you just define, or you just write your profile. So that's quite good. You can just change it, and that's cool. So that's what pills does from Bootstrap, and I use some of those CSS styling to just design this, but that's what it does. So next we have the alert function. They are best known as JavaScript functions, because they are programmed by JavaScript. JavaScript is what actually gets them to work. And Bootstrap is just trying to, use a similar way to display alerts on the web page. Alerts are just used to notify users for different actions, just actions they're trying to take. For example, you can see something like I tap on delete. I'm trying to delete maybe my profile on a particular website, and then an alert just comes up that are you really sure you want to delete this, and you can see a yes or no. But this is pretty much JavaScript, and when we talk about JavaScript, this is pretty much like the first thing we'll talk about. And well, they're so important because almost all web pages use it, and even on Facebook, right? When you want to delete something, because it's possible that you tap that stuff unknowingly. Perhaps you just kept your phone down, and you kept the phone down and something just touched it on the process, and then you can't just lose your profile like that. So alert does that for you, and then just ask you, are you sure you want to do this? And you can press yes or no, or okay or cancel rather. That's the default buttons for the next step of an alert. So cancel would terminate that flow, and then okay would just put it in. And so now we have it here. I just wanted to show you what it is. When we're talking about JavaScript, I'll show you how to actually display it on the page, but for now it doesn't do anything in Bootstrap. Bootstrap just gives you the template or how it looks, and then you can use your JavaScript to actually just display it at the time. Maybe when a user loads in the page, what time or period do you want to display it? That's what JavaScript does for you. So that's how the alert button works and looks like. So the next one on the list is badges, right? So yeah, this is quite good on Bootstrap, and this is a quite popular stuff. You can see it a lot, notifications, and then you just see that red stuff, right? And that's just for, if I tap this, nothing happens, then it's just normal. And it's more like badges, just simply that they just show you they may highlight some things, and just like this, it's quite good because that 4 is inside it. And if you want to create this using a normal from scratch, like I said, it's gonna it's gonna take a while. So Bootstrap does this easy for you by just getting those classes that have actually been predefined on their server or something. I don't know how it works much, but what I know is that you get the template from where it has been defined, well, in the library, like those libraries, right? And then it just showcases here for you as easy as that. So now those are the badges, and quite good looking and everything. You can just use this new, this is the badge, and then this is notification, this is the badge. So where can you use this? I think that you can use this when you're kind of creating a kind of user, no, not user login, something more. I know the a profile web application, yeah, something like that. Okay, when you just a user logs into their profile and there are some messages there. I'm not talking in form of Facebook, because Facebook is kind of an app. I know you can use it on the website though, but what I'm talking about is something like just a web application, and then they can use this notification or more like messages, to just show the user what has been happening while they were gone. And badges will be used to implement that more using JavaScript too, to show when the number to display this form, maybe to change it and stuff. But that's for that for badges. And yeah, badges are from just Bootstrap. So the next one here is called breadcrumbs. Yeah, so breadcrumbs are similar to navigation. They are similar to navigations, that they just use this different format of, you see that forward slash, right? That forward slash is just to denote that you just move into one folder or like directory. They just, from home you went to library and then you went to data. So the breadcrumbs will just show you your current position and where you came from or something like that. So it's also used as navbar for, I see it on some of those websites when I'm reading a blog or something like a post. So naturally this right here is just the display of how a breadcrumb should look like. So naturally, yeah, if I tap on library, look at what just happens. The page just loads back, right? Because I haven't actually defined what that element should do. So I didn't define it, and it just loads back. But you should just know that you just have an idea of this is like kind of a simple navigation, but nobody actually puts it as the main navigation of their page. Most people just does that when they are you are reading an article, and then you went a few folders in and something like that, just to show you where you are, and then something like you can easily tap home, or the article you were reading, and then you just go back there. So that's what breadcrumbs are used for. So moving on, right? The next one are buttons. So the next one are buttons, right? So buttons from Bootstrap are just buttons, but they just come with you can see this one says peach, but it should be green, and then this should be blue. But I was actually mistook here. I was trying to keep the peach button, but it wasn't working, and I just changed it to this green and blue. So that's why you can see peach and purple there. But buttons are just used for, very important. You can just keep a download button there, and more like just defining the href. That's just the link of that button. Just define the button, get the template from Bootstrap, then Bootstrap will automatically just give you by default the href with an hashtag. So you just have to include your link where you want that button to take the user to, and then that button works that way. And it's simple. You don't need JavaScript for buttons, like you do for the other ones we've been seeing, but that's what buttons do, right? Okay, so the next one is cards. So cards from Bootstrap are just a way for you to merge something, like merge an image plus a text. So that's what they are used for most times. Look at it now. So that's just the footer, kind of footer is just the bottom side of this card, and it's more like for you to merge. This is an image, and then this is a text, and look at this is a button. So most times that's what cards are used for. You keep an image, you include a button or a link, and then you get and just give a description of what the card is all about. Some quick example text to build on the title and make the bulk of the card. So that's just what it's doing here. But you can just keep your description when you're just using a card to maybe like define something like you're trying to define some services or something. You can keep your service with a picture and just define it, and maybe button linking to somewhere, and that's what cards are used for from Bootstrap. So I'm just giving you all these components because most time people just you just want to build something quick, and you can just actually go on Bootstrap, implement or integrate your libraries, those link tag that goes in the header, and the scripts tag that goes in the footer. But you implement it, and you can just get this simple HTML and CSS component to work. There are some that requires JavaScript. So a lot of for example, carousel is what when you want to move your images, like I don't know. Okay, so for example, this image is here right now. If you want after 2 seconds another one to appear, fade away, another one comes in, and fade away comes in, you need JavaScript for that. So that's just some of those things that you can do using Bootstrap. We'll just continue looking at the others. Alright, so the next one is forms. And this is a pretty it's just a basic form, because if you check on Bootstrap, the forms are advanced. You can do so many things in the forms, and you don't need JavaScript for it at all. What you just need to do is let me say, just keep your action. That stuff I was teaching the other time. Action is where you want your form element and what has been filled in to actually display. Maybe it's a document, you know, just somewhere. And most time a lot of services offer you free, and you know, just keeping the action, and then you receive it and you're good to go. Because so this is just a basic form, sign in, and you just keep your email, your password, remember me, you know, so you don't need to keep it coming. You just use your Google account to actually sign in, and then anytime you just click here, the stuff come. Yeah, it's so much like that, because you know, I just have a lot of passwords and I can't actually remember everything, you know. But that's so cool, because Google are doing a great job, and yeah, so you know, so much, you know, advanced and stuff. But forgot password, you know, you forgot password, so just click here, and then they send the normal routine, give you an email, and then you just all these things is just the thing you can use for a sign in. So perhaps to a web application, a user wants to sign in, and you can just use this, but it won't be as simple as this, you know. So I'm just giving you those simple things, and you know, showing you what you can actually do with Bootstrap. So that's the forms, right? That's the form. Then the next one, I like this one so much, you know, modals, you know. But let's see, I think that for these modals, when you keep on launch demo modal, just a modal will come out, you know, and you see how it looks like. This is just it, you know. So you just maybe click that button, and this thing overlays on the current web page, you know, just overlay on it. And there's this cancel button, close, save changes. Maybe you make some few, depending on what has been kept in here, and you can save your changes, you know. But most importantly, you can also you know, just make this modal appear after 2 seconds in the web page, 10 seconds in the web page. Perhaps using JavaScript, you just get the elements of a custom, you know. Maybe just assign a class, like we have been talking about custom class, and you can just assign that custom class, then use your JavaScript to actually define how you want this modal to appear, maybe 30 seconds after the user has been loaded into your website. You know, I'm always talking about website because that's what this thing is quite important for. And when you're just moving on, you find out that some other web application requires a lot more skills, to be honest. So many of them, you know, React, that's a framework for JavaScript, you know, Node.js, you know, just a lot of them. So when you are looking into web application, it becomes a lot more advanced, you know. So now that's what our modal from Bootstrap does. And pretty slick, right? You know, just making this thing, automating it for us, and it's quite simple, and well, you know, stress-free for us to actually use these advanced features that you want to create yourself. Just spend a few times, you know, you know, just doing it, right? So next is pagination, right? Or pagination. I've never heard anyone pronouncing it, but it could be either ways of that, you know. But what it does is that it just links between pages, you know. So this is a typical CSS and HTML. It will work perfectly for it, because you know, this thing here, this thing will be a different button, and you can just keep an href directing the user to the next page, if you get my point. So this is the previous, this is the first page, and this second page is highlighted, telling them that you are currently active on the second page of the overall listed pages, or something like that. So you go next, you can either go next or 3, but since we actually have 3 here, next is used for something when you have maybe well, not really. Some, you see some that are just, you just keep 10 here. You see 10 here, because, and then 3, maybe a few dots, then 10. So you can easily jump to the 10th page without viewing the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and so on, right? Okay, right. So we just talked about pagination, I don't know the one I even prefer to pronounce it as. Okay, so popovers. If you go on Bootstrap, you can quickly just check it out, because for some reason it's not working here. I don't know, maybe JavaScript was implemented somewhere, but it displays on Bootstrap, you know, it just displays there. And what it does is just quite simple. Even the name, you know, the name just gives it, you know, So it says that when I click this button, rather not tap, so just I click this button, a pop-over should just come, more like explaining what it's all about. If you want to in the when you want to use it, you can just click it, a user clicks, and then you can bring a tiny pop over somewhere here. Maybe I should just draw, right? It might look something like this, like some of those tweets, just tweets, and then it looks something like this, but fancier. So, and then just write this is stuff, and just defining what this is all about. So you just click and it's doing that for you. But that's also great. I don't really see it on websites. I don't think it's one of the most popular Bootstrap stuff, but it's just good to know you have it there. Then tooltips are, well, we can see what they do here. So tight print next level. Now when I click on this, tooltips just gives you an idea of what that particular word or stuff is. I don't okay, I've seen it a few times, and let me just try and explain it in a normal, in an understandable way. Perhaps you're just reading an article that that has a lot of hard words, all those hard words, and more like, let's say, specialized words. For example, it could be hard words or it could be specialized, in the sense that hard words is just words that everyday people might not just know. You can check the dictionary and you understand the meaning naturally. But specialized is more like you're reading about a particular topic, perhaps machine learning, or, well, any other thing, just design, web design. No, web design doesn't really have much specialized word that someone doesn't know. Artificial intelligence, for example, or machine learning, you can just get there and you see some algorithms there, that you don't know the name, you don't understand what's it, and you just tap on it. Then the web developer might just have, kept a tooltip for that, and when you just tap on it, that part you see default tooltip instead will just be the explanation of what that term is. Yeah, so I think that's what it just does, and that's just that's it. Look at another tooltip, another one here too, and the last tip. So that's what it is, just from Bootstrap. I didn't use any JavaScript, just CSS, straightforward, and you can just do it for your website, and you're just good to go with that simple implementation for the tooltip. So yeah, you just, I guess the last one here is our unpopular tables. Yeah, so this is just a table from Bootstrap, quite sleek, right? It has these different highlighting, right? Just different highlighting, but that's not a big deal. You just know you got your tables, so you can just say this, just get the code from Bootstrap, right, and just paste it in, and your table should come out nice looking. And this is just the handle, right? I guess they're like Instagram handle or something, I'm not quite sure, but oh yeah, at Twitter, right? At first, okay, whatever. So thanks for using our components, right? And I just kept this. It's not like this is Bootstrap also, but I just kept this, and that's the end of our explanation on the popular Bootstrap components, that does not require JavaScript. So some of them require JavaScript to do more fancier things, just fancy things, automate stuff, bounce some things, and just what JavaScript, what was JavaScript motto again? To make things move. Yeah, so that's the motto for JavaScript, to make things move, and it just gives a good idea of what it's all about. It makes things move across the screen. You can automate stuff and just make elements do stuff that they weren't doing a few seconds ago. So yeah, so I think this should just give you a very good idea of what Bootstrap, just what it does, the kind of things it can do for you, and yeah, that, and at the end of the day, you just find out that you can't use everything on Bootstrap, so you can't use everything. I don't think I will actually use even 50% of what some of those the components, but it's a good thing to know it, for a bigger project, and you just find that you're using more of them. And most times you just get your nav, you get your footer, and you tweak a few things. And except what you just want to experiment on those advanced component or whatever, just find that you are using them and stuff. But that's just it. If you want the code, from Bootstrap, I can actually leave it in your projects tab. You can put it there, and this will be the last video we'll be having. So the rest is just for you to actually practice and just do something with it. The best thing to actually do is just to create a project, yourself, and just get into the field of and see what's happening, because I've been doing it for a while, and I don't know, just find out that it's quite it's broad, quite broad. Yeah, web development is extremely broad. So the best way to just move forward, right? To move forward is just to start getting into the field, doing stuffs, and just taking on projects, personal project, not really personal, project that you want to just do, and advance yourself, and also see how profitable it is, because I know sometimes you just need to learn some stuff, and other times you need to earn from it. But I'm the earning type. I do stuff and I want to earn with it. But it's not that someone is just focused on it, but that's just about it. And I'm feeling like I'm forgetting some things. I can always talk to you through the our normal ways, WhatsApp and stuff. But it's not like this is the end. So when we're just starting a new one, well, right, JavaScript and stuff, because I think JavaScript is the most popular language in the world. To just imagine that, as much as HTML and CSS is used, JavaScript is actually the most popular in the world, and you can use it for a lot of things. You can use it to build web pages, simple web pages, web applications. You can use it to make some games, and it's quite versatile. You can use it do a lot of things, and when you just master it, I don't think someone can master it, because a lot of people just feel like can master JavaScript. It's so advanced, and a new framework is coming out every day. React, AngularJS, a lot of frameworks, and you just decide where do you want to head towards, React and stuff, and just choose the one that is best fit for what you want to do. And yeah, I don't know how you actually want to you apply all this knowledge and maybe know how, right? I don't know how you want to apply it. So I can just because you just find out that the one of the best things is information. I think that information is one of the best things for me, because you can spend a lot of time just gathering information, just getting to know stuff, compared to someone just telling you straight. I was looking for something, wasting my time looking for stuff, and everybody on the internet just said you can't find that stuff for free. And I just used an app once, and then the app just told me a particular service, and I went there. I'm using it till today, and just compared to everyone on the internet, that you can't get that thing for free. You have to pay some money, a lot of money for it. And I just use an app, and they just recommended something like that. Just use this, is one of the best. And wow, it's even a community, a lot of people are using it and stuff. People are just like yeah. So just a quick stuff. Well, so maybe you should just tell me how you actually want to start using this thing, because you need to just immediately start applying it. There are a lot of things to do, and I can just put you through in some of the things. But well, if you want to start JavaScript, you can just start, and so you just more like you want to practice some of those HTML, but the best way to actually practice it is why maybe, you know, why doing a project or doing something legit, just straightforward. You want to build a website, I mean, there's nothing stopping you, and you can just start immediately. And well, while learning JavaScript, because quite important for you to just bring out the true, you know, to make things better and stuff. But let's just see, right? And I want to say something, right? Yeah, also, you know, I guess this is the last video, right? This is the last video. Any other thing I'll actually just be telling you normally on WhatsApp and stuff. But you should also give me I just want to know how you actually thought of all these lessons, right? You know, the what you thought was you know, how I explained all these things, and you know, if they were up to the level and stuff like that. And also the things you didn't, you know, the things that weren't really comfortable, right? I don't know, you should just tell me, right? And so I'll just be expecting, you know, some like not review. Yeah, so that's about it. And just this last video and everything, so that's it.